Andrew, first, thank you so much for doing this interview with me. I want to ask you some things on a personal note, but right off the top, I want to say I love your album. I love Bad Bad. I love the old school. I love the bass. I love the funk. I love the party sound. This, as an old guy like myself who remembers groups from back in the day, from Kool and the Gang, Confunction, Earth, Wind and Fire, Casey and the Sunshine Band, my friend, you are bringing that sound back, and I bow to you. Congratulations on that.
That's an honor that you mentioned all those groups, because I listened to a lot of those records when I was making my album.
My goodness, man. I just love the fact that you were able to touch up on all of that. Where did that love of old school come from?
You know what? If you asked me 5 years ago if I would even listen to a disco or funk album, I probably would have told you no. But, just last year when I started making this record, I just had a feeling that I wanted to, rediscover myself and find out, what kind of music that I want to make and what direction I want to go into. So I started listening to all these different records in all these genres. Like I went to some funk, I went to some disco, I went to hip hop, rap. Like I really just tried to cover all the ground just so I could get a feel for what makes me feel really good inside. And, I felt the best when I was listening to these really old funk and disco records, So, it made me feel so happy and so good, and it just put a big flame in my heart, So that's the feeling that I felt, and I wanted to give that feeling to other people when they listen to, new records that are in today's kind of style, So I want to bring back some of those sounds and put some of these disco and funk flavors, to get people excited about new music, like people were excited about, new music in the 70s, the 80s, when those were, extremely great times for music,
But you're giving us a reason so that when we go to the clubs, we can dance. That's what I'm loving so much. Plus the fact that we're going to talk more about this album, you threw in some slow shots, some slow jams in there too. That's something you don't hear anymore. Incredible. So excited about this, my friend. But look, we're going to talk a little bit more about the album in a second. But I want to ask you right off the top, because as we speak, usually we could have been doing this in person, but because of what's going on with the world today, it's a whole different scenario. How are you holding up? How's the family holding up through this coronavirus epidemic going on?
I'm doing pretty well myself. I'm safe. I'm healthy. My family's doing very well as well. My goal right now is just to keep my sanity in check. I've been inside. I haven't been really leaving the house for, I think, a little bit over a month now. Wow. I haven't really left at all in 2 weeks. My car's been parked in the garage. It hasn't been turned on in at least 2 weeks. So, I'm trying to keep busy. I'm doing a lot of social media and that kind of thing. And keeping in touch with my family and friends, and that's what I hope for everyone, because they're pretty strange times right now. So we just got to stay focused and make sure we take care of ourselves so that when things go back to normal, we can operate well again.
Absolutely. Look, I want to go back again in the beginning for you, though, the love of music, where that all began.
Yeah, for sure. My love for music, it began when I was a kid. I was 4 years old. I was the biggest Backstreet Boys fan out there, and I was a 4-year-old boy, so I couldn't really speak, but I could sing their songs, and I knew the lyrics, and I knew all their little dance moves, by watching all their music videos and their concerts. That's kind of where it all began for me, and that kind of planted the seed in my mind as to what I want to do in life. And as I grew up and I was in my teens, I started getting into pop music, and then you had Justin Bieber and One Direction and Shawn Mendes, and I really looked up to these guys, and I kind of looked up to these guys for guidance, and I started writing my own songs, and as time went on, I started discovering what kind of music I want to make, and I'm still discovering that to this day, like I don't know, in 2 years what kind of music I'm going to want to make then, but that's kind of how things began.
Now, and just correct me if I'm wrong, Shawn Mendes, who I've interviewed many times, great guy, did you share the same stage for him, or did you open up for him?
Yeah, I shared the same stage, played Ottawa Blues Fest in, I think, 2018, and opened up for Shawn, and he's an amazing performer. I watched his show from the side stage, and the pipes on that guy, the vocals, the passion is incredible. so inspiring. He's inspired me a lot throughout the years. So actually getting to see him live from that close was really cool, and great band too. Like he's just, all in all, just a great performer and a great artist.
Now, when you talk about inspiring, and correct me if I'm wrong, you were part of a tour that was also inspiring, really about opening up and people being who they want to be, kind of thing.
Yeah, it was. I think you're talking about the Youth X Canada.
Yes. Yeah.
Tour. Yeah. So that was I did that for I think 2 years, and it was a really good time. I got to visit all these different youth centers across Ontario and Canada, and I got to meet a lot of kids, and I got to go to all these small communities and speak with these kids, and perform some little shows for them, and teach them how to play guitar. And one of my favorite things was that we did this little kind of session every single time we had a show. After the show, we would sit down with all the children and kind of like a circle, and we kind of do like a story time. And every kid would tell us how their day went and just open up. And that was something that really touched me, because I've heard a lot of good stories, a lot of sad stories, and I shared my own stories with these kids. So the message there was just to try to eliminate the stigma around mental health and just talk about your feelings. And I hope these kids will remember those experiences for the rest of their lives, because for me it definitely touched me, and it's something that I definitely want to do again. And it's a message that I'm really passionate about, because I've had my own issues over the years with mental health, so it's something I definitely want to promote.
Well, you're still giving back in so many ways too, and especially with this new album. What's the new album called, and how does it represent you in this point in your career, especially since this is your debut album?
Yeah, so my debut album, Freak on Repeat. For me, it's kind of I think it's a big step in my career, because it kind of explains a little bit who I am. I think it's a true reflection of myself as a person today and as a musician. And I think the big message behind this album that I just want to push is to live in the moment and to have fun. Life is pretty crazy. It brings you, down all these crazy paths that cannot expect. And I think one of the most important things is to live in this very moment and just enjoy it as much as you can. So I think that's the motto for this album, and I hope when people listen to it, it'll just touch them to have as much fun as they can and enjoy life.
Okay, let's get into Bad Bad, especially with that kickoff bass line. What is that song all about, my friend?
Well, Bad Bad, that's probably my favorite song on the record. I think it's just a good old time. The song pretty much is about going down to the disco. I kind of wrote it like along a storyline, kind of like Saturday Night Fever. You just go down to the disco. You meet someone for the first time, and you just dance the night away. So it's just about having the best night with your friends. And just enjoying the moment. Dance, dance. Funk you up to the beat. Dance, dance, dance. Country beat, bad, bad, back for me.
I hope to God that people are going to be playing that song out of boom boxes, and just letting loose, because like I said, that bass line, man, that's enough to like rupture some speakers. I absolutely love it. Look, my friend, we can't see you in concert for a while, but social media is the place to be. So where do we go to? First off, are you going to be doing any online performances? You kind of mentioned it before, but are you going to be doing more?
Yeah, I'd definitely be open to do some online performances. If the right opportunity comes, for sure, I'll definitely participate. I've seen all these great kind of online music festival initiatives, which are really cool, and I'm glad that a lot of people are supporting these causes with funds going out to support the health organizations and stuff. So I definitely be open to do some online streaming performances. As soon as the time comes for something like that, I'll definitely be posting it all over my social media.
Okay, social media is the place to go. Where do we go to follow you?
You can just follow me at Andrew Cassara, just like my name. You can, just with that handle, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everything.
Andrew, a pleasure speaking with you, my friend. Thank you for bringing old school back. Thank you for giving us a chance to dance by ourselves in our homes and just feeling like, being part of something. I am so looking forward to meeting you and definitely talking to you more about music, man. You have really brought young and old together. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting you as well someday.
Take care, my friend. We'll talk soon.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.